Facebookers.
It's that time again. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Time for Let's Talk for Real.
What's going on, family?
With
Hello.
Shay and Trill.
What's going on, family?
Yes. I want to do a quick couple of birthday shout outs to my niece, Brittany Jones. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday.
My friend, Charles Woodruff. His birthday is today, and all those other birthdays that are out here celebrating in October.
Yeah.
Hi,
happy
Rhonda.
birthday. Hi, Tamika.
Yes, you got it on before 6 o'clock.
Hi, Rhonda.
Yes, y'all
Hi,
know what
everybody.
time it is.
It's Friday, baby. Y'all ready?
To get it on.
Y'all ready to get it on? It's Friday.
Yeah.
All right. It's Friday.
You know the deal.
It's Friday.
So let's talk for real.
It's Friday.
So let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk with Shay and Trill. Let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk. Let's talk for real.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Happy Friday to ya.
That's our new theme song.
Yes, with a little remix
yes.
in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to get started with our topic for today is live.
Yes.
Capital L, capital I, capital V, capital E. Live.
Yes, live.
And what inspired Live for today, the last two sessions, if you weren't with us, we was talking about there's life after this.
Yeah.
Whatever your this situation may be, if it's a broken relationship or it's trauma or trials and tribulation that you face in your life, whether what we talked about, whether it's divorce, whether it's bankruptcy or whatever this is. And one thing that Shay said that really leaped in my belly was that there is the something that's on the inside, way down on the inside of you, that tells you to live. Yeah. And when she said that, it just gave a response in my spirit that, wow. And I said in the segment last week that it may start out as a soft, subtle little live. But it's that thing that wakes you up every single day. It's the thing that pushes you past, your time of fatigue where you feel like you don't want to fight anymore spiritually. It pushes you past that time where you want to wave your white flag of surrender. But it's the thing that's on the way down on the inside of you that tells you to live. And one of the other things we talked about in the life after this is that the difference between people living and functioning. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And so we wanted to first talk about what life means. Yes. And we know that God is the creator of all life, and that it wasn't until he formed man out of dirt, basically. That's right. Man still in that image had no life. He did not get life until God breathed into his nostrils and gave him life. And so that is the sustaining force for all of us, that God is continuously breathing in us and on us, and it's giving us life. So we want to talk about the differences between really living. Let me slow down. Between life and living. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah. So here I go. And I want to, as Trill was talking, I saw the actual word live. Yeah. She even spelled it out, L-I-V-E. But on the flip side of that, L-I-V-E is also live. Yeah. Right? So you have live and you have live. And you put A in front of live, or live is alive. And one of the things that I want to talk about today, after I say this, Trill is going to take over and really break down what the biblical meaning about live is all about, living and life. But I want to talk a little bit about when something is dying. That's when that voice starts saying live. So those of you who are experiencing some level of death in your life, regardless of what it is, because I know that there have been times in my life that I have only existed.
Yes.
I wasn't really living. I am a master of putting on a mask, making you think that I am really living when all I'm doing is existing.
Yes.
And I know that there are some of you out there that are masters just like I am that have tuned into this broadcast. You are a master of making people think you are living when you are simply existing. Oh, we are good at putting on a mask. Y'all not gonna talk to me right there. We will give off the persona that we are Superwoman.
Yes.
We are Wonder Woman. You know, we mama, we're sister, we're auntie, we're the CEO. Oh, y'all not gonna talk to me right there. We all of those things. And when it comes to that place of, you know what? It's too much for me. I'm getting ready to talk real today. It's too much for me. What is happening to me, I'm on life support.
Yes.
And nobody knows that I'm on life support. Nobody knows that I'm looking for somebody to resuscitate me.
Yes.
Because, see, when you resuscitate something or someone, that means you are causing them to come alive. You're causing them to, like we said last week, breathe. But so many times I know for myself, in terms of resuscitation and existing and not really living, I was on life support. And I wanted somebody like a trio to be in my life saying, girl, you got to live. Because really, when you're on life support, you're not breathing for yourself. The machine is breathing for you.
So it's an artificial form of breath.
Yes.
That's why it's difficult for you to survive and your body to function when you're on natural life support, because it's artificial breath.
The oxygen is not real.
Yes, it's not real.
Right. And so when you're talking about live, there has to be a level of you breathing so that you can live. And so often we are going through so much stuff. We got, before we can get out of one trial, we're entering into another. Before we can overcome one storm, we're entering into another. We get one child situated and doggone it, I'll be John Brown if the other child doesn't start having issues or complications, or there are things going on that, you know, you can't get that child situated before the battery in the car dies. And then the tire goes flat. And then you're out of work. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. So you just end up, especially you single moms out there, and I really want to encourage the single parents, because there are single moms and single dads. I really want to encourage you today. I want you to breathe.
Yes.
I want you to breathe on your own.
Yes.
We're going to take you off of the life support today. We're going to take you off of that resuscitation today. Because some of you out there are on life support, and today the life support stops.
Yes.
You've got to start breathing on your own. You know why? Because greater is he that's on the inside of you than he that's within the world. And not only that, you are an overcomer. You're not a victim. You're more than a survivor. You are an overcomer. And I want you to stand flat-footed and let every demon, every devil, every foe, every enemy, even your frenemies, I want you to tell them, I will live and not die.
Yes, and one thing you got to understand is that, like we said in the beginning, that God is the ultimate source of life.
Yeah.
If he ever stops breathing on us, then that's death.
Yeah.
So when she was talking about the artificial, the being on a resuscitator, a lot of us are on the resuscitator when it comes to things that are spiritual, because we're breathing naturally. We're breathing on our own. We're not allowing God to breathe into our situation, because a lot of times we're looking at a situation as if it's dead.
Right.
But when God breathes on that situation, it's resurrected and there's life in it. So you got to understand what's the source of your breath.
Come on.
And then we talked about last week that our life after this, this is your in-between breath.
Absolutely.
This is your time for you to get yourself together to determine if you're going to fight or if you're not going to fight. So when we're talking about life, we all have choices on how we're going to live.
Right.
I'm going to say that again. We have choices on how we're going to live.
Yeah.
We even have a choice on the quality of life that we have when we're living.
That's right.
So many times we are exhausted. We are on the resuscitator,
right?
Because we have allowed life to control how we breathe,
and people, and we've allowed people to suck the life out of us.
Yes,
but you got to tell them, listen, the day is over. You got to breathe on your own, because I got to live.
Yes.
Sorry, sis,
oh no, you're fine, honey.
Yeah, you got to breathe on your own, because you can't keep taking the breath that I need to live so that you can live.
It's just like the illustration on the plane. If a plane is about to crash, the instructions say you got to first take a breath for yourself.
You got to put the mask on
You got to put the mask on first, and then you can give it to, if you got your spouse or your child or whatever. And the reason why it wants you to do that is because you got to have enough ability to not just fight for you.
Right.
Now you got enough breath to fight for that second person.
Exactly.
So I'm telling you, the thing about the breath is an amazing thing, because I even was thinking about when you talk about a lifeguard with somebody's drowning.
Yes.
In order for them to do it, to get the water, first they got to get the water out of the lungs. And then after they get the water out of the lungs, they got to replace what you just got depleted based on you drowning.
Right.
So that's where mouth-to-mouth resuscitation comes in at.
Yes.
So the breathing part is very important for you to understand that in order for you to be able to live, like she said, you got to learn how to breathe.
Yes, you do. And that's the thing. A lot of us are struggling to breathe. I'll never forget the movie Precious.
Yes.
And Kimberly Elise was in an abusive marriage. Her husband, I think they were married. I'm not real sure. I can't remember if they were married or if they were.
No, they weren't married.
Okay, so but she was in an abusive relationship. Michael Ealy was the guy who was playing her spouse, and apparently he had gone away in the military and came back, and he was really messed up. And he was very abusive, and the children were very afraid. And so this particular day, those of you who saw the movie know that he actually dropped the babies out of the window. And I think they were probably on maybe about the 3rd or 4th floor. And of course, the babies died. And the women who were the cast of this movie surrounded her. And I think it was Felicia Rashad who actually told her that she needed to breathe. Because at that point she was suffocating. She was suffocating from the pain. And some of you today, if we will be honest, if we're going to really talk for real, some of you are suffocating from pain.
Yes.
Pain that some of us have allowed.
Self-inflicted.
Yep.
Yes.
And then because we try to self-medicate ourselves. And when you self-medicate yourself, it could be with overeating. Y'all not going to talk to me right there. It could be sleeping pills.
Yes.
You take a pill to go to sleep. You take a pill to get up. It could be sex. It could be cutting. You could be a cutter. I mean, self-medication could take the form of a lot of things.
Yes.
But
That's artificial breathing.
Come on, say it.
That's really what it is.
Come
go
on.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's artificial
let's
breathing.
Talk about that artificial breathing.
Yes. So, and then you're wondering why you have such a struggle to live, because you're breathing unnaturally. You're allowing life to really, like she said, you're allowing people and you're allowing your circumstances to really take the breath of life out of you.
Yeah.
And which that's not what God said for us.
No.
You know, even when I was sharing with her earlier about, I don't want you to lose your point though.
No, go ahead.
But we was talking about how,
yes,
how we sometimes separate what life is with us in a human form and the creatures and the things, the trees, all of this stuff has life.
Yeah.
Because everything that has life in it, and everything that God created, He breathed on.
Yeah.
So that's why we're saying that it's important for us to breathe, because that was the very catalyst that gave us the ability for our hearts to function, our blood to flow, and everything that He has put in us. It wasn't until He imparted His Spirit in us that we were able to survive. So I'm sorry, I just had to.
Oh no. And I just envisioned or heard some single parents out there saying, "But how can I breathe?"
Yes.
For myself,
yes,
when I'm so busy breathing for other people. When I'm so busy breathing for my children, when I'm so busy breathing for every circumstance, every situation that come into the house, because it's just me. I am the provider. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that goes out to work. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. Well, let me encourage you today. Because as long as you stay in that place right there, you are going to suffocate.
Yes.
You're going to allow life, the situations and circumstances of life to suffocate you.
And God is the only one that can take away our breath, which means once our breath is gone, we're dead. Basically, that's it. So why are we giving the control to our circumstances or our situation, and it has no authority?
Right.
It has no God-given authority to be able to make you feel to the point where I can't breathe.
Right. And when you are suffocating, let me tell you what happens when you suffocate. You can't speak.
Can't do nothing.
And that is what the enemy wants you to do, is to shut your mouth and not speak. Because you have the power in your mouth to change your circumstance.
Yeah, and we talked about the key thing is live. If you really don't think you want to live, let something happen to you where your life is at jeopardy. I bet you fight to breathe then. And it was funny, my sister gave a story. She, I ain't gonna say where she worked, but she gave a story where this kid said he wanted to commit suicide. And so what she did, she said, okay, you don't want to live no more? He said, no, I don't want to live no more. So she took the pillow and put it over his face. And he fought with everything in him to get that pillow off his face. She said, oh, I thought you ain't want to live. So she said, get that Bible, sit over there. So she was
trying to suffocate him.
Yeah, she was trying to suffocate him. But he fought back, because at that moment, he might not want to live, but his spirit and his body wanted to live. So she told him, get over there and sit down there and read God's word. She said, don't talk to me about you want to kill yourself no more.
Right.
So all of us, we sit here to this point and say, I can't breathe. I don't know how to live. I want to do this. But when you face with the situation of life and death and there's no more, you're going to fight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's time out for us just sitting down and allowing the enemy to snuff life out of us. Let me say that again. It's time out for us sitting down and allowing the enemy. And the enemy is a spirit. Come on now.
Yes.
And the spirits are in operation in people and even in us.
That's why I said it's inner me.
That's
what it is. The enemy is the inner me. Is what it is. And that's why we said life is about choices. You have the choice to decide on how you're going to live and the quality of life you're going to live. Mm-hmm. So if you want to sit here and blame anybody for you going through the situation you're going through, the woe is me, that I don't want to fight, I don't want to do this, you got to look at what's really going on the inside of you. Mm-hmm. What has taken away your fight? What has taken away your breath? What has taken away your hope? And then that means that you're not putting your faith and trust in the plan of God. Now you're putting your trust
in the power of God.
Or the power of God. You're looking at really functioning in your own might and your power. And we know that don't work for none of us.
That never works. And it will never work.
Never.
So today we want you to live and not just exist.
Yes.
Not just going through the motions. Not just going through the everyday, ordinary regimen. I get up. I do this,
gotta make the donuts.
A, B, C, and D. I go to work. I drop my kids off at school. I go to work. I pick my kids up from school. I come home. Life is more than that. It's more to life than
your
that.
Routine. Yes.
I mean, when was the last time you took a bubble bath? When was the last time that you just walked down your block
and just observed life,
and experienced God's creation?
Yes. When the last time you got yourself a massage or took yourself out and treated yourself? Why? Because we don't feel like we deserve it.
Because we want to just exist.
We just want to exist.
We don't want to live. But the Bible says that he said that I am come that you might have life.
Yes.
And that you might have life more abundantly. Abundance coming, abundance is more than what we think. We always want to put a price tag on abundance. But let me tell you something, baby. If I lived in a 5,000 square foot house and didn't have a peace of mind at night, that's not abundance to me.
No. And you got a lot of people who are living in that type of bondage. And from the outside, everybody think that you got it all together because you got the finest car, you got the name brand clothes, you got your hair done up, everything. It's all of that is stuff.
It's stuff.
But there's no substance on the inside of you because you're not living. So you're basically an empty shell of a form of life, but you're not living.
Did you say an empty
shell? Nothing's going on in there. You ever look at some people and you just look at them and they don't seem like nobody's in there? I mean, it's just this blank stare that they just going through the motions and the functions of, they're not living. And it's like, really, it looks like they're dead in their eyes. And I believe the eyes are the key to the soul. And if you want to know what's going on with a person, look them in the eyes and talk to them. Because I can smile and say I'm happy, but my eyes tell everything else.
Let me look at you. Look at y'all. I want to look at you good today.
But it's time to live. And that's why I spelled it out with all caps. Because I want to stress the point of living, to live.
Yeah. You need to live.
Yeah, you got to reach down and like she said, that little voice on the inside, that voice that won't let you lay down and surrender, that voice that won't let you ball up and say, okay, I can't do this no more, or I can't get up the next day, or I can't function. All these excuses that we have not to live. Yeah. We are our biggest excuse for why our life is the way that it is. Though we're getting back what we're putting out. What your energy you put out is what you're gonna get back in return. It's like a boomerang effect. If I'm sitting out there and everything I throw out is negative, guess what's coming back to me? Negativity. Yeah. So if I'm putting out there positive vibes, I'm sitting up here and I'm living my life, and people are gonna start watching you. And that's why old people always say, may the life that I live speak for me. Not the Bible I carry, not the title I hold, not the church I belong to, but let the life that I live speak for me. What is your life speaking?
Yeah. One episode you talked about the dash in between your beginning and your end.
Your beginning and your end.
That's your life. That's what your legacy is. That's what you're going to leave. Some of you may be saying, But there, I can't live. You know, this is this famous saying on the movies. This is on the movies now. They say I can't live without you. Yes, you can.
That ain't just in the movies. That's in reality too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying but you can live without that person. Mm-hmm. You can live. Even so, what? He married somebody else. So.
Yes, because God has given us an inward ability to compensate for a loss.
Yeah.
Even when you talk about transplants of organs, the body knows enough that if something's missing, I'm going to compensate for the missing part. If a person goes blind, guess what's going to intensify? Their hearing. Yeah. If they go deaf, other things are going to intensify themselves. So the same thing, like she said, if you have somebody that you lose out of your life, God has put it already in you to rebound, compensate, and be resurrected from that situation.
He left me. She left me. Good.
Thank you for the place called left.
Come on now.
Because sometimes we got to be left in order for us to live.
In order for us to begin again. In order for us to pick up and really know who we are and know the level of strength that we have on the inside of us. Sometimes people do need to walk out. Say goodbye.
Yeah. Because look at just the natural standpoint of nature.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the changing of the seasons, in order for the new life to come, guess what happens? The old life dies.
Yes.
The trees, the leaves die. Yeah. The flowers die. A new season. And guess what? It's really not dead. It goes dormant. Really is what it do. And it's rejuvenated. And then it comes back. And you're like, yes.
It's resting. A lot of us, that's our issue. We don't
rest. Yes.
We don't even want to enjoy the seasons of different seasons that come. The different seasons that come into our lives. The different seasons that we enter into, I should say. We don't even want to take the time to enjoy all of the things that comes with the new season.
Yes, which is growth.
Yeah.
We don't want to, we look at
wisdom.
Yes, wisdom. Yes. We get a lot of wisdom from it. And what we also get from is a new blessing, renewed grace and mercy from it. Because you look at, sometimes we so busy focusing on the storm that we're in the middle of and what we're going through at that point in time that we don't understand that anytime the grass and the trees and all this stuff in nature, it needs water. Yeah. It needs the sun. It needs the changes that happen in the environment. Yeah. So what make us think we different?
Right.
That we're not going to go through changes that is going to bring forth something new in us.
Right. And the other thing, I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking about all of the married people, all of the couples that are out there. Some of you are just existing in your marriages. Some of you looking at the person that you've been married to, whether it's been 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25. You know how many years you've been married to your spouse. And you looking at them and you saying, Lord, have mercy, what was I thinking?
Breathe on it, Lord.
And that's what you want him to do. You want him to breathe on it.
Yes.
But you steadily putting
the pillow over his head, trying to suffocate him. No, God wanted to live. No, I wanted to die. No.
Right. Right. And so some of you, you're saying, some of you who are out there single, you want to be married. Some who are married want to be single. Well,
we ain't never satisfied.
Can we all agree that there comes a point in our life that we just need to be content with where we are until our change comes? It's a reason why you married the person you married. Now, there was a ring that happened. But see, there are also words that end in ring. Suffering is one of them.
Yes.
And long in front of that suffering is in addition to that. And we don't want to suffer long.
We want instant gratification. We want instant life. We don't want to work for the ability to live. We don't. We want it easy. I don't want no problems. I don't want no setbacks. I don't want no struggles. I just want to enjoy my life.
I just had to lean over a little bit.
You know how we said it? I just want to enjoy my life. When am I going to get a chance to enjoy my life? You're going to get a chance to enjoy your life when you really receive the fact that you got a life. Because some of us give up our life for people. Yes. For our kids. For our jobs. Everything. We'll live for everything else except for us.
We only get one life.
One life.
And I'm going to say this because I know we got to close. We got a couple more minutes. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to Trill, you say whatever you need to say. We only get one life.
One life.
What are you telling your life? How are your actions speaking to your life? Are your actions telling your life, I appreciate you?
Yes.
Are your actions saying, I value you, life? I only get one. You're the only life I have.
Yes.
What are you saying to your own life? Are you existing? Or are you living?
Yes.
It's more to life than things. It's more to life than things.
Yes.
It's more to life than shopping.
Yes.
It's more to life than trips. It's more to life than jewels and furs and cars and houses and vacation properties. It's more to life than that. What are you saying to your own life?
Yes. And my statement is, how are you going to appreciate the breath that God is breathing into you?
You better say that.
How are you going to appreciate it? How are you? Because the Bible said, let everything that has breath praise ye the Lord. How are you praising God for his breath?
Come on now.
Are you wasting his breath by the words that come out of our mouth? Because that takes energy and breath. Are we wasting our time? Because our time is precious. Like she said, you don't get but one life. So every time God breathes into us, it shows us how important we are to the plan of God, how important we are to the movement of God and the kingdom of God. If you were not significant and your life was not important, then he would take his breath from you. Every single day that he wakes you up in the morning, it ain't for you to just go to work, for you to take care of your kids, for you to just go through life and let me make the donuts. No, there's value in him giving you his breath. Oh my God.
Life are you going to impact?
Yes.
Whose life are you impacting today? How can you impact somebody's life and you going to work and coming home? Going to work and coming home. Going to work and coming home.
We take breathing for granted.
We do.
We don't really understand how important it is. If you ever seen somebody on their deathbed, and it depends on where they are in their relationship with God, how they receive that last breath. My old former job that I had, I remember sitting with a person when they was going through that situation, and the fight was so, because that person knew that at that place that they were at, I don't know if I want to die this way. So then you got some that, like when my grandma passed, she went out praising God. My aunt went out praising God. She walked in her prophetic gift until the end. And then she was able to embrace that. So we really don't understand the importance of us just being able to sit here and breathe.
Right.
Just sit there in your moment of quietness sometimes and just hear it. And that's a miraculous thing that we have. We don't have, like she said, we're not on resuscitators. We don't have an oxygen tank. We don't have all those. Right. We got the grace and mercy of God breathing in us, through us, and everything that's not like him, we exhaling.
Right. Everything that's keeping you in bondage, you need to exhale it. Everything that's causing stumbling blocks and roadblocks, well, I'm going to call them a speed bump because they're not a roadblock.
Exhale it.
It's a speed bump. Exhale it. Everything that's not, helping you grow, you need to exhale it. Everything that's not propelling you forward into your destiny, into your purpose, into the things that you know that God has for you, you need to exhale it. And it could be family, could be frenemies.
Yes.
It could be enemies. Whatever it is.
Exhale and start inhaling the things of God. Your gifting, your calling, your purpose, everything, the plan of God, the voice of God, everything that He has, that's what you need to be taking in. And when you take that in, then you can live with the capital Live. And then you can have a better quality of life. So that's what I have for today.
And so live.
That's what I'm learning.
So that you can be alive.
Yes.
So that when people look at you, they will see a
life.
They will see life.
And not a dead man walking. Right. Because a lot of dead men walking. The Walking Dead ain't just a TV show. It's a lot of walking dead amongst us.
It is.
And life passing us by.
It's time out for that, people. Come on, brothers and sisters, let's live. So there you have it. I know we might be a few minutes over our time, but we just want you to know that today is the day that you come off of life support. Breathe on your own.
Because you can.
Today is the day that you remove your life support from other people. No longer are they sucking your life out of you. And
no longer do they get to write on that piece of paper, and that gives them the authority and the permission to pull your plug.
That's right. Exactly. That's a good one. So until next week, next time. We love you. Have a fantastic weekend, a blessed one at that. Love your family, hug your family,
live your life.
Live your life out loud. Live your life out loud. All right. It's Friday.
You know the deal.
It's Friday.
So let's talk for real.
It's Friday.
So let's talk.
Let's talk for real. Let's talk with Shay and Trill. Let's talk. Let's talk for real. Let's talk. Let's talk for real.
Booyah.
Bye, everybody.
Love you.
See you next week. Love you.